Okay, good evening and welcome to Moster Does the Crossword. This is Moster. You are looking at a gold square, which means this is the review for the New York Times crossword for September 18th, 2021, which happens to be my firstborn son's 13th birthday. Anyway, yeah, this is the review. So basically, there's two episodes, and what I'm doing lately is doing them completely independently so I can get them up immediately and not deal with cobbling shit together after the fact. So this is the review, so you're going to hear what I thought about the puzzle, what I thought about my performance on the puzzle, go through some clues that I thought were interesting, etc. It's Saturday, so there's no theme. And, yeah, I think that's about it. So, let's get into it, shall we? Yeah, this one was alright. New metal is what really fucked me, and I don't like to say that, but I did. I'm not going to re-record it, but it really threw me for a loop anyway, because it was, yeah, like I had Sackfly, I had Tiz instead of Till here for the contraction, and that was really what kind of made me figure it out. I had an A here instead of an E for palette, but yeah, that was kind of wanky. Let me go and come back because I did take a fair number of pictures. Okay. I don't remember if Expert actually stayed. Did Expert stay? No. So yeah, the first one that I took a picture of was wrong. I had Expert here for no neophyte, and it ended up being Old Pro, which is a much better answer. I think I probably said something about it being a placeholder when I put it in, but anyway, there it is. ROFL and Vols is also wrong. And I went back to say this. This ends up, instead of being vols, which is volumes, it ends up being AMTS, which is amounts. I don't think I took a picture of ROFL, but that was also wrong, as was RIAA. Now we get down here, and I'll say, because I don't think I talk about it much more, I was a little surprised that gay porn was right. I think it's like homoerotic something or other. I don't know. Like, it's good, I guess. It's mainstreaming it. It was just a little bit surprising. Anyway, we're sitting here with TMI, which is fucking all the time. This is a go-to and a half lately. Any variation of this, that's quite enough. Stop it. You've said too much, and they'll flip it around, but it's everywhere. Yeah, I did. I went back homoerotic viewing. Yeah, it's gay porn. It's just weird. Deadlock impasse. That ended up being correct, thankfully. And what might be next to cue cards? TV camera. This is one of the ones that kind of helped me start getting into the flow with these big downs. I kind of knew at this point that this 34 down here was going to be meat bags, but I wasn't entirely sure how to make it that, so I just left it for now. But about is in re, which is in regards to, which is, I guess, an old heading on Nemos, but nowadays you would just say RE. Anyway, upgrade for a train passenger. Interesting that got stuck in the fucking screenshot like that. But it's parlor car. This one I went back a couple of times. I was trying to think about what else it could have been. Couldn't remember the name of that sleeper car, which I just, like right fucking now, got pulled Pullman as it were. Pullman. Good. I'm glad it wouldn't have messed with me for too long. But that's what I was thinking of, was the Pullman car, which was the sleeper. This one really risked it. This is a good one. It took me a little bit to kind of get through the downs to trigger me enough, but went out on a limb. Yeah, I like that. And what's next? I'm going the wrong way because I'm trying to get this friggin'... Great. Anyway, started fuming, got sore. I took a picture of this one because I feel like sore is more than or less than fuming. I don't think that they're really... I mean, maybe. Start of many a party, icebreaker. This is one that I really kind of struggled with. I had all kinds of weird ideas. Like, I thought it was something about inebriation and small talk, I think I had for a second or two. But that makes the most sense. And right below it, do we do shared room? No, but shared room is a college dorm thing. Yeah, and I took a picture of this 43 down mecha for the anime genre. I didn't realize that mecha was the name of the genre, but okay. That's like all that Gundam, like, you know, post-Voltron, big people in robot costumes fighting each other. Subject of this documentary, Korean War. Like I said in the recording, I'm pretty confident that Leela has watched this movie. And yeah, alright, so this is where I got amounts, and that got me ACL for one down, which is neighbor of the patella, which really screwed me. Do I have that here? No, I don't think I do. So yeah, ACL, you know, because I couldn't think of anything that was 3 letters that would be a leg bone. You know, that would be a femur or whatever the other one is. A tibia or a fibia. Maybe not. Maybe those are the arm. Who the fuck knows? Many people, the fuck know, actually. Most are. But anyway, surname on True Grit was Cohen. This one, I knew it wasn't Bridges. I couldn't remember the name of the girl, but I didn't think it was 4 letters. But it was Cohen, so there you go. And yeah, e-commerce alternatives to Square, Stripe, Amazon Pay. This took me, I guess, a little longer than I had the N, and I had bronze, like, kind of at the same time. I think that's where I put the Amazon in, was when I started bronze going across, and you can see both emits and waits on, which I held on to for a long time. They all ended up being wrong, as did RIAA. There's a whole fucking, I don't know how long, where God, I want to do a friggin', there we go. Like this whole corner, and I'm sure I'll get to it later, but like I just was completely screwed up here. So that was wrong. Alright, all of these are wrong, and bronze palette ends up being the right thing going across there, and then the very end was me figuring out the palette was with an E and not an A in the middle. This is another one also contributing with bronze. NRA filed bankruptcy. You know, I read it and I read it and I read it, and every fucking time that I read 2011, which is why I thought it was the Boy Scouts. That's where my brain is at this evening, but on the other hand, it's finished. Okay, Ajar letting in a little light. This one I definitely feel like I could have gotten sooner. But boo-hoo, poor me. And then, yeah, once I pulled out weights on and a Miss Mega Church, I kind of knew it was a religious something, but I wasn't sure exactly what. And similarly, there's a lot of back and forth where I was trying to figure out at a premium, but I think I can add a premium in the near future here. Yes. And this was my first attempt towards the door for I have herds in, which is not right. And yeah, that was the fun time ending this whole puzzle. Riz Ahmed, this was a guess. A slightly biased guess, but I saw HM and I saw a name that looked like it could be a shortened Arabic name, and I jumped over that non-existent gap, and I don't know. Part of doing these puzzles is that kind of bias. And not quite right. Actually, now, once I took a miss out, I really like acute here for not quite right. I thought that was yeah. a nice geometry joke for us on this Friday night. And Squeeze Cram made this all work, as did Emptied going across for 22 across. I think I had Grip at one point, which was another thing that I kind of knew I was throwing in as a placeholder. Similarly, left with nothing. I had the weights on and a couple of other things that was really screwing with me there, which was preventing me from doing Emptied. I was doing like Stripped and things like that, but Emptied makes perfect sense. And yeah, this is when I got the NCAA, and then I spent 20 fucking minutes trying to figure out new metal from this point until the end of the puzzle. But yeah, this NCAA thing was a big deal when it happened, obviously. But it was all, they were suing because the schools were getting all this money and the kids weren't getting money and blah, blah, blah. Sounds like they have a pretty good case, but it's an interesting, with the whole school plus sports plus money. But that's what the fucking society wants, so there you go. Oh, and I liked this one. I caught it when I was doing my typo check. 8 in breaching castle walls, petard. I didn't really know that was what a petard was. I only knew the hoisted on your own petard, which I kind of assumed was a sailing thing as opposed to a siege engine thing. I tried putting in siege there for a second, but it just wasn't happening. Yeah, and that was the last one that I took. And then we'll go back, but I don't think there's too much else here that I want to talk about. New metal was what killed me, and you can see that says 5813. Yeah. Oh, Halo I thought was pretty okay actually for cause of lightheadedness. And Apniel, I had this as Apniez because again I forgot about the like. So I had the plural instead of the adverb form. But yeah, I'm not going to belabor this any further. So I'm going to say one more time, thank you very much for listening. I hope you found this to be somewhat entertaining or informative, and I would love it if you left a comment or passed it along. But regardless of any of that, I wish you a peaceful journey.